We go. So we're going to get in. So welcome. I know the name of this kind of just popped for me. It's not usually something I would call a webinar or a Zoom chat or whatever, but welcome to the COVID-19 community love-in. So that's why I'm here. I'm just here with love to be a contribution to you, to let everybody just check in, hopefully create some more ease in your world in this literally, I would say, unprecedented time that none of us have ever experienced before. I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So again, my intention is just to contribute to you, to let you ask questions, to invite you to let you know let you know how can I contribute to you, let you know some tools that I've used to create ease in my world. And if you're in this community, you're probably not completely normal or stick in the mud. You probably know that this craziness that's going on right now is definitely going on for a reason. And there's lots of conspiracy theories, whether they're true, whether this virus was made on purpose made on purpose for a purpose. Who knows? Obviously, some people know. We don't. I don't. But it's like, okay, it's here. How can we create more ease in our world? Most of us want a change in the world that we've had up to now, because if things are not working in our world. And change never comes without something pretty cataclysmic, something very uncomfortable, and something often where a lot of shit happens. And a lot of shit is happening right now in the world. And it's pretty intense. And it's really tough for a whole lot of people. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. For the most part, I've had mostly ease with it. Work other than, if you want to call it, I don't like the word self-isolation or social distancing. I like the word physical distancing, because I think that's what we need to be doing now, physical distancing. I don't think we need to be social distancing. I see tons of these different communities having things like this, these Zooms popping up. So what if we're all here to ride through this really, really uncomfortable wave? And what if we're all here to help contribute to and create a different reality? And I invite everybody to look at what is your role in creating this different reality? Because that's what I think we all have something to contribute. And that can be physically, emotionally, spiritually, and in a huge way, energetically. And I've been getting some downloads the last few days. I asked my team to come and help me out and say, hey, it popped for me to do this. I haven't done a webinar in a really long time. I used to do quite a few of them, and I just haven't been doing them lately. And it really called to me to do this and just to offer this out as something to the community. So yeah, I'm going to share some tips and tools that I have. But honestly, I'm going to invite you guys, and at the end, I want to keep this, I should do logistics. I'm going to try and keep this to an hour max to honor your time, even though you might have more time than normal right now. And at the end, if everybody wants to, I'm going to do a guided meditation, if everybody would like that at the end. And so, yeah. So if I know some people have just popped on in the last couple of minutes. If you haven't used Zoom before, yay for getting on for the first time. And those of you who have used it before, yay for popping in again. You can use the menu bar at the bottom to unmute yourself. So if anybody wants to jump in with a question or a comment, go for it. And if a couple of you do it at one time, I'll just go for it. Hey, Svetlana's raised her hand. Svetlana, go for it.
Hi.
Hi, I wish I could see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
Your camera's off. But that's cool.
I have my AirPods in, so if you can't hear me, let me know.
Okay. We can hear you.
Okay? Okay.
Yep.
So I've also had ease with with all of this, and it's wonderful. One of the things that actually popped when you were talking about having a conversation with your team, is there something available there that, how do I form this question? To create a stronger connection with our teams? Like, is there something that we could do to like call them in more, to connect with them clearer, to do something like, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Because I'm the queen of living in my head. Like I got a lot of mind chatter going on all the time.
And you are the only one.
I know, I'm the only one on here. And so doing this, like communicating with my team, has been a real struggle in the past. And I think we all need to just try different things to invite them in. And also, I think probably, I don't remember, 5 or 7 years ago, I read a book by, I think it was Sonia Choquette, I think it's Choquette. And I forget the title. I'm seeing if I have it over here. It's like, it's called Ask Your Guides. And the first thing I like to do is try and connect with them first thing in the morning. So that would be one thing, try and connect with them first thing in the morning. And when I do, I also just try and put my hand on my, I'm going to try not to be hitting my mic here, like put my hand on my heart, make sure I put my hands on my body. And I always take some deep breaths first before, and like, this isn't really a long process. It's like hands on body, a few deep breaths. And I literally call them team. I'm like, hey team, I need some help here. And I just try to get really quiet and invite them in. And they will give you or they will attempt to give you messages in the way that you can hear them. So I don't hear them as a voice. I forget if it's clear audient. I just get it as like, it just kind of like a thought that I know it's kind of like an internal knowing that you have to trust it and know that, okay, that came from them. That's not me. That's not my head chatter going. Oh shoot, and I thought of another one and it just left my head already. And you can kind of ask them to give you a sign, and ask them to give you a really clear sign that they're there. I know one thing that a lot of people get is they might get, and this is sometimes more departed loved ones, they might see coins around, or they might see feathers or whatever. But to me, it's just a practice. And again, I try and do it first thing in the morning when my mind is a little quieter, and that could be after I've done some meditation. So meditating first, even for 5 minutes, can really help. Like a lot of times if I'm getting messages, they will come after I've even meditated for like 5 minutes. Or another great way to do it is when you first get up, start journaling and kind of get that, because you get that initial mind chatter when you wake up. Journal a bit and kind of do a bit of a brain dump. And then when you're done the brain dump, if you start getting more stuff coming, you kind of know that that's them. So yeah, does that help?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have a connection with my team, but I'm looking to deepen it. Like, it's like, I feel like I ask a lot of questions throughout the day and I feel guided with that. But it's almost like at this time when I have the time and space to really connect, I'm looking to go even deeper with that connection.
What does that look like for you when you say go deeper? Do you mean hearing them
so
more?
That like when I ask a question, to be able to like really perceive the answer.
And it could be, have you decided that it has to look a certain way or sound a certain way? Yeah. Okay. I'm not really going to do clearing, but yeah, is it time to let that go, that you're looking for it to show up in a certain way?
Yeah.
I find journaling or writing really helps. Have you tried that?
I have, and then, I have.
I would try that. To me, it's just a process of really trust. How much do you trust you?
I'm working on it.
Working on it? Awesome. Me
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
That's actually has been my big target for this year is trust.
Mhm.
Trusting me.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Me too. Yeah.
Awesome. If I think of
Thank
anything
you.
else, I think it is very individual too. And it's not necessarily like telling people how to communicate is just not really my expertise per se.
Mhm.
Just a process.
Yeah, thank you. It just popped when you said it, so I thought I'd ask.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to jump in? Quiet bunch. Awesome. Okay, let me ask this question. What did you hope to get out of this call?
Mm.
Is that Sonia?
Yeah.
I got a there. Oh, and I just smacked the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, Diamond.
Well, I hope to get connection because I know that this is a very special time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I don't know any of you. The only person I know here is Kim. And I know Kim very, very well. I've known her for a long, long time. A very long time.
Probably some previous lifetimes too, eh?
Of course. Of course. I don't know whether you all know about this, but I saw Kim, she was coming up in my email thing and I saw her picture and I thought, good Lord, I know you. I know you. You are so familiar. And I just said, hello, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was, wasn't it, Kim?
Pretty
Anyway,
much, yeah.
what I'm here for is that I thought, oh, this is great. I'll come and have connection. And maybe there's somebody that is on this call that I need to connect with in some way. I don't know. But here I am, and I'm open and I'm ready. There you are.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I know that Diamond is an amazing, what's the correct word? Harpist?
Yes. It's my
Harpist.
heart.
And oh, there she is. Yeah, she's an amazing musician of the harp. And you are like so talented when it comes to materials. I don't even know what all the different, you do a zillion different things with cloth. You're a creator.
Yes.
You're very creative. Awesome.
I'm into fiber. Yes,
You're into fiber.
that's right.
We're not talking all brand.
But I'm here. I'm here to connect. That's what I'm here to do.
Awesome. Well, how does it get
And
any better than that?
I'm just delighted to meet all of you. And if you are having a hard time at the moment, what I would say is, hang on. It'll finish. It's going to finish, and we're going to be all right. We really are. If it's your time to leave the planet, well, it's your time to leave the planet. The what and the how of it. Oh, hello,
Another
Svetlana. You've
harpist.
got a harp too. Oh, good for you, Lassie.
Who knew this was going to be Harpists of the World Unite?
Oh, wow.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Thank you,
What sort of
Svetlana. That's awesome.
What sort of music do you play, Lassie?
I'm sad to say that I haven't been playing recently, so she's waiting for me.
Cool. Okay, Katri Diamond on Facebook. You are Diamond Henderson, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, Svetlana, if you want to find Diamond, I don't think you're going to find too many. I know her name on here is showing as Catriona. I'm just going to mute. Hold on one second here. There we go. Whoever's on the iPhone, I don't have a name, but I muted you. So if you want to talk later, you'll have to unmute yourself. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if Harpists Unite, look up Diamond Henderson on Facebook. You'll find her, and she's an amazing human being. And Diamond, I appreciate that you said that. Like, we are going through this change, and I'll be honest, I don't know anybody personally who has the COVID virus. Well, actually, you know what? I bet you that's not true. I'm sure I do know people that have it, but they don't know they have it yet. When I ask if I have it, I get no, but if I'm going to, or a carrier, I don't know, but I get that I don't have it. But yeah, we probably, if we don't know somebody now, they say the chances are we're all going to know somebody. But yeah, what if, I really do think this is the change that's going to be required in the world, and that when we come out of this, because no big change ever comes from, you know, us being in the comfort zone or the world being in its comfort zone.
That's right.
I think when we come out the other side of this, it's going to be really interesting. And again, I think it's still not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be the change that's required. When I was walking midday today, all of a sudden I got this really strange sensation in my body that I can't even describe. And it was like kind of tingly, kind of a lightness of being. And I got this huge feeling of ease. And so it's like, bring the message of ease to whoever comes on tonight. So if you don't have ease right now, I invite you to bring that into your world in whatever way you know how. And again, my last couple of newsletters, I've talked about, you know, just really practical things too, not just ethereal stuff, but in practical ways. Are you nurturing your body with good food? Are you moving your body in whatever way possible? And that's whatever way works for you. Like the last few days, what I've been doing as soon as I finish my work from home day, when I get my work done here, I'm jumping on an online 30-minute workout with a woman whose recent online show I was on. And I thought, I'm not really a workout guru or anything. I've always loved working out, but I've been doing her 30-minute workouts and they're kicking my ass. And you know what? I feel awesome. And it's not, and that's fun for me. My body has liked intense workouts. But find whatever your body likes. Like if you're spending a lot of time inside, and I know we're kind of requested to do that right now, but in wherever you live, in whatever way you can, get outside, move your body. I think that's absolutely vital. Get outside, move your body. I know for a lot of people that are in my sphere are in the access consciousness work. And unless you have somebody you live with that you can exchange the access bars with, it's kind of tough, but I think they've gotten to the point now where, you know, you can do distance access bars. Do whatever you can, like find whatever works for you for that. And that really helps with ease with the mind. And one thing I'm going to share with you, I don't know if anybody on here does healing touch, but I've got this thing called self-mind clearing. And it's not quite like getting your bars run, but I'm going to try and scan it later and email it out to everybody, because it's a process you can do on yourself. And hey, who knew? It's kind of light touch on your head with different points. It's really cool. But yeah, so again, like move your body. Self-care is huge. And I mean, you probably can't go get a massage right now or go to your chiropractor, but what can you do? So do what you can. I got to look at my notes here. Again, and I talked with Svetlana about journaling. That's a really good thing to get all the junk out of your head. Do brain dumps. Do wild mind writing, which is something one of my coaches, Juna, invites lots of us to do. And wild mind writing can be really whatever's going on in your head that you need to get out. Set a timer for, say, 7 minutes, and literally just, it's like doing a brain dump. So do this wild mind writing for like 7 minutes and just write. And even if you hit a point where you're stuck, keep rewriting your last few words until more thoughts come. And don't edit it. Don't use punctuation. It's just like 7 minutes, wild mind write, and just dump that stuff out of your head. So to me, journaling is awesome. And again, these are just really practical things, other practical things. And this is something that I found I caught myself doing. I'm someone who almost never watches TV. Other than the odd time I will turn on the news because I would like to catch the weather. But having worked in the news, I really don't like it. But I have been watching way too much frickin' news since this started. Stop watching the news. Like if you want to get an update, totally understand that. Maybe you watch one thing a day. Don't watch 2 hours of it. Not that I do that. But I also caught myself hanging out on Netflix. And I would watch like 3 or 4 episodes of something in a row. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like frying my brain on Netflix. And if that works for you, great. Watch movies or, your favorite series is. But is that really what this time is calling you to do? And if it is, then do that.
Mm-hmm.
And, we all have such busy lives. Is this time calling you to slow down and stop being human doings and become human beings again? And again, another thing is, if you're having a really tough time, look outside of yourself. Like, who can I contribute to? Who can I help? What's required? And, ask questions. And, if you walk around your neighborhood, I'm going to, unless you, don't live near other people, I know it's definitely happening around where I live. You're seeing all kinds of sidewalk chalk art with these beautiful messages. You're seeing people. My next door neighbor has a beautiful big cutout heart in her door that has a beautiful sign that says, "Thank you, healthcare workers." People are setting times at like 7 p.m., their local time, and everybody's just, hanging out in their balconies or their front doors and clapping and cheering for the healthcare workers. When you get outside of your head and think about the other people, that's a really good way to release stress too, because then you're not making it about you. Even though it isn't about you, because we are all one. We're all connected. So it is about you, and it isn't. And it's about all of us. And is this a time where certain people are going to rise and move on and come into whatever it is we came here to do? And then certain people who are maybe at a different level of consciousness, maybe they're just going to kind of fall away. Who knows? That's kind of what I'm feeling. And another thing is, some of the stuff that I've been getting is, I've been having dreams early in the morning, and I'm not one who normally remembers my dream unless it's important. And one of the messages I was getting through the story of a dream was, it's also going to be a time where women are going to be coming together in a really strong way. And women are going to be holding each other up. One of the dreams I had, and Catriona will probably like this, where I had a dream where a bunch of women, we were sparring with swords, but we were actually practicing to fight each other, which was kind of silly. And then we all put our swords down, and the stronger women were helping the weaker women. And it was very clear that the women, the haves, so-called haves, were women that had money, were helping the women that didn't have money. It was just this really cool bonding of sisterhood. And it was like there was men there somewhere, but they were like off to the side. And not that they don't play a role, but I got that, I'm sure you've heard this, if it was, somebody said this, that it's Western women that's going to save the world or change the world, whether that's accurate or not. But that's what I saw, was that it's going to be much more women coming into power and sisterhood and collaborating. And if that's correct, that's lovely. Mm-hmm. And that's just what I've been getting through some of my dreams, and I wanted to share that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, you do healing touch, Svetlana. That's awesome. Anyway, I have been doing a lot of talking. Does anybody have questions? Or anything you want to share, like share your awareness. I don't know everything by a long shot.
Well, I can say that I'm one in the group that knows someone who just got COVID tested today. Mm-hmm. My daughter-in-law, so it's kind of scary.
And are they saying how long it'll take for her to know?
5 to 7 days till she'll know her results. Mm-hmm. She's a healthcare worker working in the community, so mm-hmm. Hoping she just has strep throat, not COVID.
Yeah, and that's stressing, right?
Yeah.
So I hope.
Hear you guys laugh.
Sorry, Susan, say that again.
It was good to hear these girls laugh.
Yeah, and that's what we need right now when we can't get together in person with our friends.
Yeah.
Susan lives in, pretty much the same town I do. And for my American friends, I forget how to translate this, but, today it was 12 degrees Celsius here. So whether that's in the 40s, I don't know. So cool. And yesterday it was a couple degrees cooler. So jacket weather. And like, how can you get together with the people in your world? I had a friend come over yesterday who's quite immune compromised. She's about 95 pounds soaking wet. She's had so many health issues. And she said, I'm coming over. I'm bringing my own camping chair. I'm going to sit on your deck on the far corner. I have a good sized deck. And I came out and sat on the deck with her for an hour, and she had on like a heavy coat and mitts and a hat and her sunglasses because it was sunny. And we just sat at least 10 feet, like we were making sure it was good distance, 10 feet apart, and just visited. And, you see people who are visiting through closed doorways, don't put the screen up and breathe on each other or whatever. But yeah, how can we do things differently during this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's tough, Susan. So, yeah. Well, we'll have to put it out there for the best outcome of that. And maybe maybe if she does have it, that's a blessing to keep her out of whatever the system, if she's in the hospital system or, a senior's home or whatever that is.
She was doing home care. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, someone going into many homes.
Yeah. So
that's tough.
Many people survive this. They survive this. Many more people survive it than die.
They really do. And I'm kind of getting this now because I was poo-pooing this a bit at first. I thought, okay, here comes the fear mongering. And when it was really starting to come out, I was in Thailand. And so I was like, oh, they're making so much of this. And then I got home and I did this, this self-isolate, self-quarantine, whatever you call it. And I kind of thought it was a little overboard. And now I'm seeing, okay, our healthcare system needs us to do this because they don't have the resources to handle this big spike. So you're right, Diamond. It's not like people are that many people are passing from it.
No, they're not.
Yeah. I mean, people
who are older people and people who've got compromised immune systems. There are some younger people dying from it. However, those people were compromised anyway. So, it's not as bad. And the other thing I'd point out, what I've been seeing is that many more people last year died of the flu than have died of this COVID thing. And if I stand to be corrected if I am wrong on this, and anyone can point that out.
Yeah.
This was not made a big deal of at all. The flu. Oh yes, we get the flu every year. And awesome. I have to say, be comforted. I'm sure if she is meant to go, all of us are meant to die. All of us.
Absolutely.
Because we are living things. And it's just how we die. It's the how of it and the why of it.
Yeah.
So beautiful. If it's your time, it's your time. And you've decided that on some level anyway.
Yes.
And I can stand against somebody who denies this. And I would say, well, fair enough, but this is my understanding of the situation. And I think that this time, in a way, is a sort of a gift. It's a gift because on many, many levels, we are being made aware of lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, let's ask and that's a good question to ask is what is the gift in this? Like I said today, when I was out walking, I just felt this really huge sense of ease. What I also noticed was it was super quiet. I was walking in a park, but you still usually hear the planes going overhead. And all of a sudden I was like, I haven't seen one plane. Well, of course I haven't. This is a smaller city, London, Canada. So we're, I think, just under 400,000. We have a small airport here. I could hear the birds. And I thought, it smells really good out here. Like this hasn't taken in North America particularly, this hasn't been made a big deal other than the last, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And our air quality is this what our planet required? I think there's so many facets of this that are going to come out of this. And also being aware that so many people's lives are being affected negatively with this. And how can we contribute? And each of us play a role. Like everybody on here, I'm in a group and they keep saying to us, you're all leaders. And it's like, we are, in my opinion, we are all leaders that have come here to be the greatest version of ourselves and to contribute in some way. And that doesn't have to be a huge thing. That could be offering to pick up groceries. If you are able to go out to a grocery store, it could be offering to pick up groceries for someone who can't. It's like, what is your role? I'd love to hear if anybody else has comments or questions, and even if, and something to and again, is something to contribute. Anybody else have anything to offer? Or quiet bunch.
I'm not.
Sonia, are you just smiling and laughing, or do you have some?
I'm not sure if my laptop works, if you can hear me.
I can absolutely hear you, Sonia. I just lost your video, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I live in Switzerland, and we have the lockdown since the 17th of March. And since then, we were clapping with the hands for the nurses and all this. And it's getting into a special aggression now in the grocery stores, like
okay.
So because everybody wants to have the freedom back, and I'm in an age that should stay at home 100%, and I just can't. I just don't agree. And since I'm no more allowed, I belong because of my age to the group that should stay at home, not because of my health. It's just because of my date of birth. And I'm such a rebel since then. I think that's just not possible. I made my jobs, I had my businesses, I helped that everybody can have this money now for others, other businesses also. I helped for this community, and now I'm not even allowed to go outside. So, I mean, I shouldn't. Because I go because if I have nobody, I can go. So, yeah, if it's how do you say, like an, if you have to go, if you don't have anybody who brings you the grocery home, yeah, and I still work, of course. So I'm allowed because I work, but because of my age, I should stay at home. So I feel such it's not a power. I feel like a power for to stand up and say, if I feel right, and I take my own autonomy. I call it, I don't know if you see.
Yeah, autonomy, absolutely.
Yeah. I would like to say yes to my own responsibility, and of course we have 2 meters distance, and we call it smart distancing. So we wash hands. So we do all these things that everybody does on the planet. So even if you do that, you never know if it works 100%, if you are protected, but at least you have done the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
I can't give you as my thoughts, but it's really my very first time since 5 years that I do Zooms, that I say something.
Do you know what? Yeah, celebrate that you got on. Honestly, celebrate that you got on here, because who on here loves tech? Definitely not me. I couldn't believe it when I did my first one. It was like, yay, that you got on here.
Okay, thank you. So now I came to your call because of a little consolation.
Yay!
Yeah. First of all, the rebel in Switzerland. And for everybody, I mean, all these women you told, because women come together and help. So why not also 69 years old? Yeah.
Awesome. And what a contribution you're being by like being out there, being who you are. Like I know my partner just turned 65 2 weeks ago, and I've been making jokes to him like, hey, you can go out and get in line with the seniors to get into, you know, the stores an hour early if you want to. And he's like, Mom, I'm not going to do that because I'm healthy. And I was kind of more joking anyway. But yeah, you know, obviously the governments just have to make these rules where they set different, and not every 65-year-old, 69-year-old, or 78-year-old is the same as somebody else their age. So I think they're just doing what they can. And yeah, like we're all contributing in the best way that we can. I'm just going to call on I'm not sure if it's Margie or Margie, so I apologize, but Margie, is your audio working?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes. I wanted to hear
I'm
from
on
you.
the phone.
It's
Okay, great. I'm on the phone, and I don't have a camera, and that's why everybody can't see me.
That's okay. A lot of cameras are off, so it's good. It's all good.
So you want me to share this, what I wrote to you?
Yes, and I'm just going to say I'm mindful of our time. We've got about 20 minutes left, and I do want to do the meditation in there too. So if we can keep it to about 5 minutes, that'd be lovely.
Okay, terrific. First of all, I'm from Boston, and today the governor of Massachusetts announced that he made arrangements with the Chinese government and private industry to get 1.2 million masks for the healthcare workers and first responders. And this has been in the works for a while. And today it happened, so he announced it at his news conference. So all of us, that it would be, the plane was on its way back from China. But it wasn't an ordinary plane, it was the New England Patriots plane. And it was meant for the players. So they had to retrofit the plane and set it up for cargo. The plane flew to China yesterday. They had to be under 3 hours to load up the plane because after 3 hours, they'd have to go into quarantine.
Okay.
So they loaded up the plane with 1.2 million masks, and the plane arrived at 5:30 tonight, and I'm in the East Coast. The plane arrived at 5:30 at night. All the news stations had cameras there, and I think everybody in Boston was glued to the set because it was such a thrill to see that plane land and know that it was going to the healthcare workers and first responders. And then Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the Patriots, said that he wanted 300,000 masks to go to New York City. So to watch these masks get unloaded by the National Guard, and knowing that a truck was leaving for New York tomorrow was such a thrill. And I have tears in my eyes sharing this story. It was so uplifting that I couldn't watch any of the news because it was just a small piece of good news in a tough day. That's what I wanted to share.
Is it Margie or Margie? I apologize.
Margie.
Margie, honestly, I am so grateful you shared that. I know we've got a few other Americans on the call, so maybe they know the story, but that's the type of thing we need to focus on. It's not like we're ignoring reality, but like halla freaking hallelujah, like for, you know, maybe Svetlana and Sonia and Diamond, New England Patriots, our football team. And like, how cool is that? This is their private jet, obviously, yes.
Yes.
They said, okay, we're not playing right now. I mean, no sports teams are playing. So these are the types of things that are coming out in the world that this is happening. I mean, I shared something on Facebook about Bill Gates and his wife, and they're donating like $10 million. And somebody really slammed it and said, these guys are billionaires and they're, you know, full of BS and all that. And I thought, I'm not you. Yes, we can be aware of corporate greed, etc. Yes. And we can also choose where my point is, we can also choose where we focus our energy. We can be aware of what's going on, and we can also choose to focus our energy, because Margie, by you and everybody else that's focusing on the good deeds and the good acts that are being done. And I know all over North America and Europe, fire and police are going up to the hospitals and running their lights. I think here they were running their lights and sirens, and thank you to the healthcare workers. So we can focus on the camaraderie and the oneness. What if we focused on the oneness that's coming out of this?
That's the beauty I saw. I think if I had two memories that I will never forget, is I literally cried when I saw the plane land at Logan Airport. That's the airport in Boston. And the second one, we're watching the National Guard load up the boxes onto trucks, knowing that they're headed for the hospitals, and not only the hospitals here, but to send it to the hardest hit area in the United States, to New York City. I mean, it was just, I have goosebumps sharing the story. So I will never forget. If I needed a hopeful moment, that was so inspiring. And I thought, I haven't felt this good in a week. And it was a drop in the bucket, but I hope other billionaires get inspired by what this generous man did today.
It has a ripple, in my opinion, good has way more of a ripple effect than so-called bad. So yay. Thank you for sharing that. I love it.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
so much. I really appreciate it, Margie. And that's where, you know, we're seeing the love, because we can focus on the love or we can focus on the fear. So how about we focus on the love? And again, I said this before, but I really think we need to remember that we are all one. I mean, we're the drop in the ocean and we're the whole ocean, depending on what your belief system is, but that's mine, and we are all one. And unfortunately, yes, a lot of people are going to what we call die, and have already. My point of view is our bodies die. We don't, our spirit doesn't. Our spirit keeps coming back and keeps coming back. And two people in my world, both of them I cared about a great deal, and they were both 90 years old. Two women decided to not get COVID, but they were in really good health till about 2 weeks ago, and both of them didn't know each other in two different cities, just decided that Tuesday morning this week was the time for them to die, to drop their bodies. And that was really hard on us. But is it like certain people are checking out and saying, no, I'll see you next time. You guys can ride this one out on your own. I'm 90, I've done my part here. It's time for the rest of you to ride this out, whatever that is. So yeah. So I'm just again trying to be honoring your time. I see it's 8:15 Eastern time, and 8:45 or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. So I promised to do a meditation. I got a message to do just a really short guided meditation. So if everybody's up for that, do you want to do that? Seeing some head nods. Awesome. I'm going to ask that if you, everybody's muted except for me, of course. Thank you. And I'm just going to get my recording here going. So yeah, I'm just going to invite everybody I'm going to take a drink of water so I don't have to cough during this. It's no fun to listen to a cough. Yeah, I'm going to invite, if you're already comfortable, that's great. And if you're not, I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. And we're just going to follow where this goes. And I'm actually going to turn my camera off, just so that if you open your eyes, you're not distracted by me if I'm moving. and I'll come back on camera after it. So yeah, if everyone's ready, I'm just going to invite you to get comfortable and close your eyes. And I'm going to invite you to take a few deep breaths in through your nose and then back out through your mouth, if that works for you. So deep breath in through your nose. Then let that out through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose. And back out through your mouth. And one more deep breath in through your nose. And back out through your mouth. And I invite you, if your hands are free, you might be holding your phone, but if you have a free hand, I invite you to place a hand over your heart. And just feel your body. If you're sitting or laying down, just feel your body connecting to whatever surface that you are either sitting or lying on, and give it thanks for supporting you. And now I invite you to give yourself thanks for being here and taking this time for you. And we're going to go along a little journey now to create a little more ease and space in our worlds. So I'm going to invite you to envision that you are in the middle of a grassy meadow. And the sky is blue, and you can smell whatever is around you. If you can smell the grass, you can hear the birds, and we're going to go for a little walk. I invite you to walk along this meadow towards trees that are surrounding this meadow. The trees encompass a forest, and as you get closer to the trees, you see an opening. You see a path. And as you get closer to it, you see that it's a little bit dark, but it's still inviting. So you enter into this forest along this path. And there are leaves underneath your feet as you walk along this path. And you can feel the leaves crunching under your feet. And you're surrounded by pine trees in this forest, and you can smell the pine. And you take a deep breath in and you can smell the pine. You can hear the birds. And you can feel the fresh air on your face. And you can feel your whole body connecting to the trees, connecting to the earth as you walk along, connecting to all the animals in the forest, connecting to all the birds. You feel your body relaxing as you walk along. And you keep walking along. And within a short time, you come to an opening in the forest. And you hear the gentle flowing of water, the sound of the ripple of water as the water is flowing ever so gently and slowly over rocks. And as you get closer to the river, you can hear the sound of the water rushing over these rocks. And as you get closer, you see a rock. It's quite a large rock. And you come to this rock, and you sit upon it beside the edge of this river. And as you hear the water rushing over the rocks, you feel your body relax even more. And as you look at the river, you see one of the larger rocks the water is flowing over. And you see that you can be this rock in this river, in this stream. And I invite you to look at how can you be the water and the rock in this stream. And as you're the rock, you feel the water rushing around you as you are solid and grounded in the stream. And as you're the water, you feel yourself flowing downstream without any effort, without any resistance. You're flowing along as nature intended. And as you come to the end of the stream, you feel yourself moving along slower and slower. And you take another deep breath in as you energetically come out of the water and you stand along the edge of the stream, knowing that you are grounded and that you are safe and that you can come back to this stream anytime you want to. And you can choose whether you wish to be the water flowing along the stream, and you can also choose to be the rock, grounded as all the water rushes around you. And that whenever there's any chaos in your life, you can be that rock in the stream. Or you can be the stream that is flowing along without any resistance. And knowing that it is just a choice, and that you always have this moment that you can come back to. You have this forest, and you have the stream, and you have the birds, and you have the beautiful fresh air that you can breathe in anytime you want to, because it's all there in your mind, and you can create this whenever you wish. Now I invite you to take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And another deep breath in through your nose. Whenever you're ready, on your own time. And out through your mouth. Feel your hand on your heart. Feel your body on the chair. And whenever you're ready, you can come back into the room that you're in. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to come back into you. And I'm seeing that we're getting close to the top of the hour. So yeah, I just want to, if anybody has any last minute questions, any comments, feel free to make any comments.
Yeah, thank you for the freedom to choose to be the rock or the water and the softness, to choose to be the rebel or the softer woman. Thank you.
Yeah, because we are both. And that's what I had been getting when I got that. I thought, what, both? But yeah, we are both. We are the rock and we are the stream. Different things at different moments. And whatever we choose in any moment. And that's what I love. Like, we do have the power to choose. And I invite everybody to remember to be really mindful of your breath If you don't have a breath work practice, invite you to find one, even if it's as simple as if you do yoga breathing in and out. I mean, even yoga itself has a lot of different breathing techniques. I started back this week doing my what's called Wim Hof breathing that I wrote about. It's fairly intense, but it totally shuts down your mind, and that's for sure. And it has a whole lot of health benefits. And that's the thing, breath work has so many benefits to it. So just invite you all, please find what works for you during this time. Reach out to family and friends. Also, be the person they can reach out to. Be a contribution to them. Be a contribution to you. Self-care is huge. Move your body. Breathe. Eat healthful food. I went down the sugar rabbit hole earlier this week. It comes and goes. I love my sugar. And yeah, look after you. Send me emails after this. Please feel free. If you'd like me to do this if you'd like me to do another one of these, I'm happy to do one. If you would like to have something different addressed another time, whatever, like feel free to email me comments, questions, whatever. I'm here for you. And wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap and water. I've never been taught so many times how to wash my hands. Who knew? Mine are becoming sandpaper. I'm washing them so much. But yeah. What if it's all keep our distance, wash our hands, and do any of these self-care practices that I've shared with you. I hope it's been a contribution. And yeah, any last words, anyone?
I wanted to say something.
Svetlana. Is it Svetlana?
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a gentle kindness that's been created in this group. Thank you, Kim, for supporting that, and thank you everybody that's in it. It's just, it's really sweet. So thank you for that, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. That's cool. I appreciate that. And I think everybody else appreciates that in a group. Because yeah, I mean, I can set these up and facilitate them, but it's not about me. It's about all of us coming together. And I'm just going to read a message, if everybody got it, from Susan. Thanks for doing this, and thank you for your laughter. Her 85-year-old father in good health said to her that if he got this COVID, he has had a good life, and he feels that young people should protect themselves. Thank you for that, Susan. And I think we all need to kind of remind some of our younger folks, because yeah, they're not taking it so seriously, right? I hate to say it, but a lot of the teenagers and the folks in their 20s, Abby, they're having a tough time with it, and they think it's a lot of, excuse the expression, but they think it's a lot of BS, and that us olders are freaking out over nothing. And what are we here to contribute to them? So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you. I'm going to invite everybody to do this, and I'm probably going to hit my mic, but they say that if you just hug yourself like this, it's the same as getting a hug from somebody else. And we're all physical distancing. So yeah, this is me receiving a hug from all of you, and I'm sending all of you a huge hug. I'm so grateful for all of you coming here. This has been really fun. And yeah, awesome. Much love to all of you. Take care, and we'll do this again if you want to, okay? Have a great rest of your day, whatever time it is in your world, okay? Love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
very much, everybody.
Thank you.